Hello, everyone. We are live with our last performance of the day, another accomplished Humber graduate, Bageshree Vaze, and she will take it away for personal introductions.
Hi, namaste, everyone. I'm Bageshree, and this is Vaze. And we're really happy to be here today as part of Culture Compass and to be interacting with all of you virtually. I know that we're all too used to this now after a few months of being indoors, but art has to continue. Our interactions with people and with audiences are continuing as they always have since human activity. It's always been the desire of humans to dance and perform and play instruments, and regardless of whatever's happening politically and what's going around, somehow that activity always continues. So we're happy to be here in this virtual setting with you. Vineet and I are we've both grown up here in Canada. We are Canadians and we work here in Toronto, but we're presenting art forms that we have studied extensively in India with some of the foremost masters of Indian classical music and dance. Vineet is a disciple of the late legendary Pandit Kishan Maharajji, who was one of the great tabla masters, and he's going to tell you a little bit more, and you'll be able to hear more of these drums here, the tablas. And I'm performing Kathak dance, which is a dance style unique in that the tabla drums provide the rhythmic vocabulary, which we set to movement and footwork. And we'll explain a little bit more as we go along how we tell stories with rhythmic patterns and putting them in with choreography and bringing them to life visually. But Vineet is going to start by showing you how we explore a story through the rhythm of the tabla drum, starting with a 16-beat cycle. And he'll explain sort of the demarcation of the different rhythms and then how he brings it alive through the tablas.
Good afternoon, everybody. Yes, Vineet Vyas, and these are the tabla drums from the northern part of India. And to give you a bit of a, not an education, but sort of like a glimpse in terms of what actually happens. All of what I play, I would have first learned the language. Now, the language doesn't mean anything per se, but each of the syllables I can recite by my voice. So if I was to say ta, te, te, ha. So this is what the drums, we have this language, and then we compose, and then basically it's there to provide a rhythmic time cycle. So in this time cycle, what we're going to show is 16 beats. So I'll open with a small little opening, and then nowadays, since we're all electronically oriented, and yeah, definitely this time has the last 3 months, 4 months, there's been so much change about us, first with the onset of COVID, and then it's given, it's made you think about your art and think about our lives in a different way. And I think we're very lucky that we do have these art forms in our lives, but there's also a lot of change that things have pushed for, especially with Black Lives Matter. And I think it's very important for us to all recognize that change is not just inevitable, but it's necessary. So to discuss a bit about my iPhone here, I'm going to turn it on. It has an electronic ladder, so it's going to be giving a melodic time cycle, and it's in the 16 beats.
And I'd just like to say that, Vineet and I, obviously being at home, we have a lot of time to think about art, and it's made me reflect that the classical arts of India especially did not originate in theaters and on stages that we are so used to now. They originated in small spaces in front of very informal audiences who were connoisseurs, and it was a form of just sharing artists' work with these kind of settings, and so we're really happy that we can do the same thing here now.
So the time cycle of 16 beats is known as Tinta. I'll show you how it works in terms of what the beats are. So the starting beat is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, ah. ta ta, din din ta ta, din din ta ta. On the tabla.
Taking this simple syllable, ta, ta, ta. Ta, 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 ta. Ta, 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 ta. Where we try and find our way through the runway of this rhythmic cycle, figuring out different ways of coming to that first beat and telling different patterns, different stories. And now we put it together with with I studied what we call the Lucknow style of Kathak. So that comes from it's believed to come from the city of Lucknow in North India. So some of the compositions that we do are very, very old, and they've been handed down from one generation to another. But as artists, as individuals, we try and come up with our own variations of these. But this is an original tune. And I grew up in St. John's, Newfoundland. So we often try to take inspiration from what we see in the world around us. That's how dance has been created, taking different themes. So the sound kadita, 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 kadita is like the sound of the seagulls. Theta, 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 theta. And then as we see them on the ocean, we imagine different rhythms of the water through the tabla language. So taking that all together. So now we'll move on to double the speed. And just as he explained the 16 beat cycle, we make it shorter and then make faster and different types of compositions. So cut that dance, tabla drums, it's a conversation. Just as we're having lots of conversations now, but sometimes we try to put the conversation, some people may call it an argument, in an interaction between dance and tabla. As Kathak has developed, there have been different types of stories that we tell with rhythm. So one of the ideas is called a padmilu, and a padmilu takes syllables that sound like the sounds of nature and try and put them into a pattern. So when you hear Tungalunga, imagine the sound of a horse jumping in the forest. So we take some of these syllabic languages and put them to dance. Hitam, hitam, tagatagatong, tagato, hitam, hitam, tagatagatong, tagato, tagatagatong, tagatagatong, tungalunga, tagatong, tatatale, 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 tatatale. Now, in the age of COVID, we don't have a lot of travel happening, especially international travel. But in Toronto, we've had great opportunities for visiting artists from other countries, such as India, but also from England, many Indian artists who come to perform, teach. And last year, we had the great privilege and opportunity of interacting with Sri Pratap Pawar, who is an exponent of Kathak, who lives in England, and many people know his famous disciple, Akram Khan, in the dance world. So he came here last year, and Vineet had the opportunity to perform with him in Toronto, and we hosted some master classes, and this is a composition he taught us. And just to finish off, right now in India, people are in the middle of the rainy season, known as the monsoon. And while people are welcoming of this season, after a very long, hot, dry season, to replenish their crops, it's not just something of necessity, but you see in the sky these wonderful, dark, purple rain clouds as they build. And then there are different rhythms of the rain, pitter patter, and sometimes much more heavier, and you see strikes of lightning. So try and bring that through to life through Kazakh. Thank you, namaste. I'm Bageshree.
Yes.
And thank you for having us here this afternoon. All the best for the rest of the conference, for the rest of the year, as we all get together here virtually, probably for the next little while, and share each other's stories and art.
Thank you. And I'd like to reintroduce Mikita and Jennifer Gordon to speak to us to our closing performance.
Namaste. Thank you so much. I feel that my legs are still moving as the rest of my body. It was really great. So that was it for today. And thank you everyone who joined us today. It was a very busy day, but we have one more to come. So tomorrow we're going to discuss engaging audiences in digital spaces, financial sustainability, fundraising, activism in the arts, and we will meet new speakers, and we will enjoy 2 more artist performances, including our mystery artist, who is going to close the conference tomorrow. I also want to remind you that we have Michelle Buchholz, who was creating a visual recording of all the sessions today, and some of them are already available. You can check our social media for that, and we will also share her artwork later with you. So Jennifer, do we have Jennifer here? So maybe you will share your thoughts about the conference today. Jennifer. Do we have Jennifer? Tag team.
Yes, just one moment.
Okay, great. Hey, Jennifer.
Hi.
So how did you find today's conference?
I mean, I think today was was incredible, and in addition to thanking the performers, I really have to hand it to all of you students who put this together and produced this. Round of applause! Thank you so much. Yes, it's been phenomenal. It's gone from a little tech blip in the beginning, and now here we are, and I think it's rolled really well. It's been very interesting to see the patterns that have come through. I'm sort of making a braid motion here. I'm thinking about the different links between all of the speakers and the energy of the comedian, even though she couldn't see us, right? And she just brought everybody's energy so up. And then, with this beautiful closing dance performance, it was echoing rain and exterior space and forests, to see this really ancient art form presented in the digital space. I just feel super relaxed right now and soothed, and I am very excited for tomorrow. So thank you to all involved, the speakers, the panelists, the keynote, and everybody producing this. And of course to you, our audience, thank you so much. And we're absolutely looking forward to seeing you again tomorrow morning. Join us then.
Thank you. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow.